The last thing I'd like to go through before we begin actively learning vocabulary are plurals. And luckily, they're quite easy in Spanish because just like English, plurals have an S. So it's nice and familiar. For example, the English word book would be libro, as we know, and books would be libro plus an S. So we get libros. That would be books, the plural. So if you look at it, in English we have book to books, adding an S, and in Spanish the same thing, libro to libros, just adding an S for the plural. So we have the book as el libro, but el needs to change in the plural, and this is where it does get different from English. So el actually transforms into los. So if we wanted to say the books, it would be los libros. So el always becomes los in the plural. It's a nice solid rule that we can hold on to. El transforms into los. Let's look at another example. The word for man in Spanish is hombre. Notice that you start your pronunciation from the O, so it'll be hombre, because always in Spanish this H is silent. It's written in the spelling but not actually pronounced. So we have hombre for man. Now to say men, the plural, you again do the same thing. So you have hombre plus an S, and that would give you hombres. So hombres would be men. Going back now to say the man, it would be el hombre, the man. But to say the men, it would have to change. El would have to change because now we're in plural. So we go to los hombres. So putting it on the same slide, we have el hombre for the man and los hombres for the men, plural. You can see how el transforms into los for the plural, and we add an S on the end of the word for men. Here's something to watch closely now. If we take our other example word, paper, which was papel. So now this is not ending in O, it's ending in the consonant L. And it's a masculine word, we know that already. So to say the paper would be el papel. Now whenever a word ends in a consonant, like this example, papel, we add ES. So papers will become papeles. So let's compare that again on the same slide. We have the paper, el papel. But the papers, el goes to los, same as always, but because this word is ending in a consonant, then we add ES for the plural, el papel to los papeles. Let's run through it once more before we go on. So we have el libro going to los libros. This is very simple because el always goes to los and it's ending in a vowel, libro, so we just add on the S. We don't need to add ES, it's just an S, los libros. Another example here we have the man, el hombre. Again, you can see how el goes to los in the plural, and because it's ending in a vowel, just add on the S. So el hombre to los hombres. It gets different if the word ends in a consonant like it does here. So el papel, we already know that papel is classified as a masculine word. So we have el as always going to los, but papel now needs to go to papeles because we're adding an ES after the consonant. The good news is it pretty much works the same for feminine words. For example, if we have the word house, we know that is casa, ending in A, so it's a feminine word. If we wanted to say houses, again, we just add an S. So casa would go to casas. We have casa, house, add the S for plural, and we get casas. Going back now to say the house, we already know that would be la casa. Now, for feminine words, la becomes las. So the houses would be las casas. Looking at it on a single slide, you can see that the form is very regular. So we have la going to las and just adding an S on the end. La casa, las casas. Now here's something to watch closely again. The word for woman in Spanish is mujer. This JE takes on like a H sound in Spanish. Mujer. Mujer is woman. And we can see it's ending in R, so it's ending in a consonant. So if we wanted to say the plural, women, then same as before in masculine, we add es because it's ending in a consonant. So mujer goes to mujeres. Mujer for woman and mujeres for women, the plural. If we add the into that, so we'd have like the woman would be la mujer, and the women, plural, now would be las mujeres. Now, just as a point of interest, off the coast of Cancun in Mexico, there is an island called Isla Mujeres. Isla means island, and mujeres we know means women. And it's very beautiful there. This is a picture of it. I've been there and it's great to swim in this section off here. The water is really, really nice. The beach is very nice. So you can see that we have Isla Mujeres. Hopefully this image will help to cement that example and help you to remember it. Let's finish off now with our final review. How would you say the books? Los libros. The houses. Las casas. The papers. Los papeles. The men. Los hombres. And the women. Las mujeres. All right, so final words. I know that I've thrown a ton of information your way in this short module, but what I want to reassure you with is that as we go through learning vocabulary, we're going to be coming across many, many different words, masculine and feminine, and also in plurals. So that is really going to do the main teaching. This module was for just to introduce the concepts so that you wouldn't be baffled by some of the vocabulary to come, so that you would at least understand what is going on. But with all the practice that we're about to get into with vocabulary, believe me, you're going to be a world-class Olympic expert at this stuff. It's going to be very basic by the time we're finished, because you're going to get so much practical experience and practice with these types of masculine and feminine words, and also into the plurals. So don't worry at all if you don't think that you fully understood it, or that you're not going to be able to remember it all. In the coming lessons, when we get into the real practice, that is what's going to really cement it all into your memory.